you're fixing to apply, maybe these tips will help make it a little bit easier for you and you won't feel so overwhelmed. Hey y'all, Jenny here. I am so glad that you're here, and if you are new, welcome. So glad you're here. I wanted to talk today about my last video I talked about ways to make applying for disability online easier and hopefully get you approved quicker, and I mentioned in that my medical binder. So I wanted to share how I organize it, how I organized all this information when I went through the application process 3 years ago, and just share that with you. I have a medical binder and then I have a disability binder because I have so many records. So I'm gonna just go over how I organized it and tell you, if you're somebody who doesn't really know what to expect, just sort of give you the rundown so that you can get started on the process. You don't have to go out and gather all your records. However, because they'll gather that for you. However, if you already have all of this information, it will make it easier on them, therefore faster, and hopefully faster in getting you a decision, and hopefully more successful in getting you a positive decision. So just encourage that if you're able to do this, the more information you have, the better chances of it going quicker, which, definitely a plus when you're having to quit working, and you need that income. So you definitely want to have the date that you became unable to work because of your illnesses, injuries, conditions, and things like that. Workers' comp information, stuff like that. Okay, so I'm sorry, I have to refer to my notes. I can't remember it all. So just a regular binder. Of course, you don't have to do a binder. I'm just a paper person. I love planners. I love the paper. Planners are my thing. So I have a family binder. That's just my thing. So, but you could do Dropbox or a portfolio, however you choose to do. This is just how I did it with tabs for all the different pieces of information to keep it organized. So, it can be folders for you or what have you, but I am just going to talk about how I personally did it. So I have a calendar, of course. They have so many free printables online to get you started. Put a daily list in here to keep track. See that? Get you, what you need to do for the day, things like that. Paper, of course, to jot down notes. First tab that I have is the physician. I'm sure you can't see that, but it's the physician, so your providers tab. Within that, you are going to need to have, so you could just collect their cards just collect their cards would probably be the easiest way to do it, and get one of those little envelope or pocket like things that you can keep it in. Because you want their addresses, phone numbers, and fax numbers. So any doctors, hospitals, clinics, therapists, or ERs you've visited because of your condition. Keep their cards, of course. Also keep track of the date you were first seen, the date you were last seen, and your next scheduled appointment, and what treatment they suggested. And think 6 months, currently being treated, or someone you've seen within the 6 months. You don't have to go way back. Okay, so the next divider that I would have would be your diagnoses, and I don't have that in here because I have so many different diagnoses. That's in my big medical binder, and I am going to have a video on how I organize that, but I have a tab for each diagnosis within this, and I did during the application process, but just not right now since I've already done that. Diagnosis, so the diagnosing physician, the more detail the better, and that goes for all of this. So the next one that I have is my prescriptions. So you want to have the list of your current medications, the doses, what you're on the medication for, any side effects, any allergic reactions. You could get a pharmacy printout. That would be really helpful. Then keep track of that. But it's just whatever you're currently on. And say, for example, during the application process, say they need, or because I know sometimes they'll have their doctors go over your information and they'll suggest different things for you to try. Maybe to to try to keep your condition to where you can keep working. And say you've already tried that medication, that would be when a pharmacy printout would be really helpful, because you could say, I've already done this, and just keep track of why you couldn't take it, the side effects or what have you. Okay, so the next one would be imaging. Your imaging, your MRI, CT scans, x-rays, myelograms, things like that. You really won't need the discs or the actual imaging for the application process. You'll need the radiologist report and any clinical notes that your doctor has made pertaining to the imaging, so what the outcome of the imaging was. And the next one would be tests and procedures. So any tests, any lab work, treadmill test, EKG, cardiac cath, vision test, breathing test, stress test, tilt tests, things that didn't require a hospital stay. And all of those results, of course, even the lab results, keep track of who ordered it, dates, and the outcomes. And then the next one would be employment. They ask a lot of questions about employment, so the more information you have, the better. But you're going to need the information for up to 5 of your last employers for the past 15 years. And the date you became unable to work, the job title, the type of business that it is, your dates of employment, how many hours you worked per day, your rate of pay, your pay stubs, your W-2s. If you're self-employed, you would need those tax returns for the past year, the employer name, address, phone number, your supervisor's name, their contact information, the amount of earnings for this year and last. And I'd also include, because they do ask questions about education, so I would include in that your education information. So any job training or trade school, vocational school, college degree, things like that, that information. They're going to want to know the details of the job, very detailed job description, very detailed, and your level of physical activity at that job. So then the next one would be financial information. So that is going to be your bank account, so the routing number in the bank account, and that's just because that's how they pay. They don't do paper checks, they do direct deposits. So you'll need to have that information to give them, and your taxes, pay stubs, those types of things. The next one would be symptoms. The symptoms. I also found this symptom log. I think it was on Pinterest. Really easy, because that's really important too. As you can see, I need to be better about keeping track of my symptoms, because you want to keep track of any new symptoms, the onset, the circumstances surrounding the symptoms, what makes your symptoms worse, better, what you do for relief, any triggers and things like that. So I find it easiest to keep a log so that you can keep track of all that. The next tab, now I haven't had many inpatient hospital stays, but I combine my surgeries and hospital stays tab together. But so first, surgeries. Definitely keep track of your surgeries, both inpatient and outpatient. The physician that ordered the surgery, the operating physician, so the surgeon, why the surgery was performed, the date, the outcome, the operative report, any clinical notes pertaining to that surgery, and the outcome, of course. And then the last tab that I have is hospitalization. So that would be each occurrence. So even if it was just an ER visit, what it was for, how long you were there, and the outcome. You want the name and addresses of the hospitals, the admitting physician, the date of admission, so the treating physician, admitting physician if they're different, the discharge date, of course the admission date, and the outcome. So and then like I said, I'm gonna link the website down below for socialsecurity.gov, and it will give you a list of everything that you're going to need. You're going to need your birth certificate. If you were in the military, you're going to need your is it the DD-214, so your discharge papers. any workers' comp information. So those things pertaining to you, but you can find that information on their website. There's actually a lot of helpful information on there. And so those are all things that I had to have to apply. So anyway, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if this helped you. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you get notified when I upload again. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.